Excuse me. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Make yourself at home. We have become a no-shoe household again. Thank you so much, Kim. And I walked in the house with my shoes on, rushing to get in here and start the show. So, gotta slip my shoes off. Yup, and I'm rocking the white after I do tea today, so feeling good about it. Boom, boom. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Make yourself at home. Let me get this coffee going. Let me get the coffee. Oh, I could have did that. I could have turned the camera. Good morning, everybody. I could have brought y'all into the situation. I hope y'all having a good start to your morning or afternoon in some parts of the country. Running a little bit late from the gym because I had to rush down to my office to grab a few things. Okay. Let me get this coffee on real quick, like. Y'all know I usually have it brewed up and ready to go, but that's not the case this morning. Make a little bit extra just in case the conversation get extra good. Yeah. Let's get that going. We got to get the coffee on. I hope you got your cup. I hope you're ready. Isn't it a beautiful day to be alive, Laney Lane? You better say that. You got to say that. So, as you see in the heading, we're going to be reviewing Purposeful Delight this morning. I'm going to bring Deanna on. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly after I get the show going. But let me get the coffee brewed up first. Let's get the coffee going. Got to get the coffee going. Give me a second to get that right. Bingo. On. Okay. Did I go to the gym? I know y'all probably. Shatima, your hoodies, Shatima, your hoodies. After I do hoodie in black, after I do hoodie in gray, Shatima, your hoodies are in the mail. I dropped them off. Everybody that ordered a hoodie, I dropped them off yesterday. And for the folks that ordered shirts yesterday, I got to go back to the post office today. So that's going out. I don't know why I'm feeling just a tad bit congested. So, again, we got over 100 people in here. Hold on, let me get my stool. Good Lord. Bop, bop, baloo, bop. I'm excited because the coffee is... Y'all give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me get my stool. All right. I said, let me get my stool. I had to get my stool, but also had to blow my nose. Yeah, something is up. Little pollen count or something. But it's all good. We in here. We are in here. All right. Y'all know the rule when y'all walk in the building, hit that share button. So hit the share button, invite your friends to the conversation. I got to get the right coffee cup. I think I'm going to go with April's coffee mug this morning. Because sometimes I miss my baby. And so if I drink out of her cup. I drink out of her cup, it makes me feel like, you know, my baby's with me. Y'all know what it is. Got my International Delight. I'm gonna get that popping. All right, let's see what we got this morning. Let me sit down into the conversation. Coffee brewing up. The machine is going. All right, what's going on? Good morning, everybody. I'm sorry I had to get my life together, get my situation straight. I was running a little bit late because I had to jet to the office. Am I cooking today? I should cook today. I'm thinking about it. I'll just sip on my water. Yeah, at least enjoy your water. If that's what you got for today, enjoy your water. What's up, Tripster? Brother Chris Joyner's in the building. That's my man right there. How much are the shirts? The shirts are $35. And it includes the shipping. And the hoodies, just so you know, are $65. Oh, Val said that coffee's on the way. Listen, we're going to talk about the Bill Cosby situation in a second. Let me get my coffee situation straight first, though. Let's get the coffee going. Val sent me that Bustelo. She said you need to drink this Bustelo and see what's really going on. How to order a shirt. Crystal Fields, if you would like to order a shirt, I'm going to show you how easy this is. Hey, Val, do me a solid, Val. Can you post that link to the after I do, the shop? Who else? You know what? So somebody yesterday was suggesting, somebody suggested that you go to my sinuses are acting up. Camille, you a goddamn nurse or a doctor? You can hear it, right? It's horrible. I'm gonna fix all that though. Once I get this coffee in my system, it's all gonna be good. What was I saying? Somebody suggested we make there you go, right there. Purchase all shirts and hoodies and all of that stuff. And even the shop right now says some of the sizes are out. Just if your size is not there, inbox me on this platform and just let me know the size you need. I probably have it at my office. Some of the sizes are at the office. You got it both ways right there. You got it through the Shopify and you got it through the website. But the website is afteridotv.com. All of y'all should be signed up for the email list. Everybody. We got 100,000 people, over 100,000 following after I do, and I only got like 3,000 or 4,000 people. Okay, Lisa, I think you asked that yesterday about the Chris Brown song. We got Bill Cosby on deck. We got to talk about that. And then I got to review Deanna Brooker's coffee, this Purposeful Delight brand, which is just about brewed up and ready to go and about to go in my cup. So y'all give me, and I'm, dealing with a sinus issue, but I'm going to get that straight. Hopefully this coffee is going to move all of that out the way. Get my life together with a nice deep breath. Okay, coffee's ready to go in a cup, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that. Pour a nice size. See, here's the thing. April's cup is a nice big one. So, put my creamer in there. Got a full day of combo. Let's get it. Listen. I know we do, right? It's a lot on the plate to accomplish today, to talk about. All right, so I'm gonna start with the Bill Cosby conversation. Let's start there. How did my pics turn out? I didn't take the pictures yet, Adrian. Okay. So again, I'm actually reviewing the Purposeful Delight. Y'all know today is the coffee review day. I'm into mugs. Do you have an After I Do mug? Karen, the After I Do mugs are on the way. And the Coffee Cup Chronicles mugs are on the way. Stacy and Robinson, this coffee ain't going to be what I need it to be if I don't slurp it and do what I need to do. I'm a coffee connoisseur, so let me deal with this coffee the way I need to deal with this coffee. You ever heard the saying, let me hump this cat? When they have some kittens, I'd give you one and you can tell it what to do. Let me slurp this coffee. Yeah. Get in there. Yeah. Get in there. Okay. I thought you were gonna taste before you put the creamer in. Yeah, I usually do that. Ooh, hold on. Let me get my camera straight. I'll explain all of that later. I'll get to that. I need to get my coffee right first. And what I decided is I just need to get that creamer in there so I can. Yeah, the camera stand was drinking last night. So I can listen, I know exactly. We'll get to all of that. So just know that it's Purposeful Delight. And that's what I'm going to be drinking. And I'm going to review it. I'll tell you how many cups I'm going to give. And I'm also going to bring Deanna Brooker on to the show in a bit. Give me a minute, Deanna, so she can tell you all about the coffee because this is her brand and blend of coffee. Okay. I was about to stay at a cat analogy. I'm just saying, some of these analogies just make sense. Jessica, listen, coffee, look, I don't drink beer. I don't drink alcohol at all, but I don't drink beer. I never drink. I taste beer one time and I was like, I don't know how people drink beer. It tastes horrible to me. Somebody told me it's an acquired taste, right? They said it's an acquired taste. I don't drink wine, right? Even when I don't drink any alcohol, but even before, I would drink wine. I go, I don't get this. And so again, it's an acquired taste. I understand that, I grew up in a coffee household. My dad was big on coffee. My mom made us coffee every morning. And, but I got to tell you, there's something about the warmness of coffee, the little kick of caffeine that it gives you to help get your day going. And it's very soothing. It's a very, soothing kind of beverage experience. And it's very communal as well. See that? You see that? Look, let me tell you what the process is when the coffee is right. When the coffee's right, then this is how, like, you can tell when I'm enjoying my you can tell when I'm enjoying my cup of coffee because I usually hit it like this. Yes, that means the coffee's working. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Coffee Cup Chronicles. This is episode 15. I'm your barista, Royale Watkins. I did not do a proper introduction. I want to greet each and every one of you where you are right now and just remind you have an opportunity starting in this moment to do something great. You are one of one. God only made one of you. Inside of you, if you dig deep enough, is a purpose that you were sent here to do. It's something that you woke up and you really want to be doing if you're not doing it right now. So, I want to encourage you to continue to think about. I want to encourage you to clear, I'm having a little bit of issue with my sinuses. So this is not completely clear, but just mentally, it's very clear. I went in the gym this morning and worked out. I didn't go as hard as I could have went, but it just reminded me, it's like, I could have pushed myself a little harder. All right. Always push yourself. Always push yourself. Go that much harder, right? The only thing you have at the end of the day, your personal trainer, your cheerleader, you got to be your best personal trainer, cheerleader, and all of that stuff. So let's talk about the Bill Cosby thing first and foremost. You guys, if you don't know that I'm a stand-up comedian before I'm anything else. I mean, I'm a husband and father and child of God and son of Ralph and Audrey. But I came into this business doing stand-up comedy. Bill Cosby, for me, was the benchmark. This dude was, you want to talk about a dynamic storyteller. I'll post a photo. This could have been a whole other Facebook Live, because this could really get to be a real long conversation, but I'm not going to make it a long conversation. Yeah, Chris, I feel, let me tell you something. So I've looked up to Bill Cosby as a, I don't want to say mentor, but in a certain kind of way. They set him up because he wanted to buy NBC. I get so annoyed when I see people. This has nothing to do. How did they set him up? This has nothing to do with Bill Cosby's desire to buy NBC. Bill Cosby actually was also trying in the process, or made an attempt to purchase a cable channel. Bill Cosby owns pieces of different companies. The man was invested in multiple companies. So this has absolutely nothing to do with him attempting to buy NBC. That was just one opportunity. It was one of the business opportunities that was made public, but the man is well invested into a number of different companies. So please don't put that out there. It's just bad information. The NBC thing is just bad information. This has everything to do with a man that was preying on women. Let's talk about, at the end of the day, when you have somebody, and these are facts. These are facts. Again, he admitted to assaults. Again, there were payouts, a history of payouts, right? Where women were being paid to silence them. So when I see a female say, oh, he was being set up because he tried to buy NBC, that's disappointing to me. Because now what you're starting to do is you're starting to discount all of these women who were sexually assaulted. You're starting to discount all of these women who were sexually assaulted, and I want to say in some ways raped. And that's not something we should take lightly at all. I always say, It's really embarrassing to me as a man to see the lack of value that women, or the lack of regard that men have in society for women. And like, it's a whole other level of disgust to me when you use your celebrity to drug women, right? So what kind of man needs to drug a woman and put her out, right? So she's not even conscious enough to be a part of the experience, and then sexually assault her. And when she comes to, then to discard her like trash. I don't understand the mentality of a human being who needs to drug a woman, to have her body in a lifeless state in order to enjoy a sexual exploit. Y'all know that I make no bones about this. I mean, I enjoy sex. I love it. It's a great experience when you can bond with a woman and create a dynamic. It opens your spirit up. It's one of the most amazing experiences that two people or three can enjoy, right? When you're in sync. And so to rob somebody of the opportunity to engage, to give permission to engage, what is the mentality? I fail. It really, really, right. You rob the person of the ability to give consent to. It's a twisted, sick way of being. And not just one or two or three times. Bill Cosby, the man that most of us know, love for the work that he's put in television. And he's had such an incredible influence. He's had such an overwhelming amount of influence on not just our generation, but Bill Cosby goes back to the 50s and 60s as an influencer before social media. His presence in television, his presence in film. Think about, Mongo Slate? Think about Uptown Saturday Night and what Sidney Poitier and Bill Cosby did on screen in that film series. Think about that. Think about the Cosby cartoon. Think about Little Bill, right? Think about Little Bill, the cartoon, who my kids grew up on, Royce and Ross. Think about, if I'm going to tell you something, I Spy. Thank you, Chris. Think about I Spy. Think about that. Think about Little Bill. Think about, I used to watch Little Bill with Royce. And the Christmas episode of Little Bill where the grandmother gets stuck in the airport. Think about Fat Albert. Oh my God. Think about a different world. Think about the influence, that a different world has had. I mean, my point is that picture pages, exactly. So the Brown Hornet, all of these different pieces of content and entertainment that influenced us, that inspired us, right? A different world inspired us to want to go to college, to be a Hillman grad, right? The Cosby Show, to say that Black people could aspire to be, in loving family households with two loving parents who were professionals. That's inspiring. Sure, like Good Times was one version of it, but the Cosby Show said, look, we can aspire to do bigger and greater things. the sweaters, the college donations, all of this stuff, the comedy albums. Listen, if you listen to Bill Cosby's comedy albums, there's one called To My Brother Russell, Whom I Slept With, that I promise you has probably had the greatest influence on me as a stand-up. It's one of the most amazing bits I've ever heard in my life. And I was at an event years ago. April was with me. She will tell you. I was at this event at one of the Beverly Hills Hotel or something. And they were honoring Dr. Keith Black, or can't remember, but this doctor, brother, who was a surgeon at the UCLA Cedars-Sinai Hospital. They were naming a wing after him, but I think Dr. Cosby, Bill Cosby, had some influence and had donated money to help build the wing of the hospital, and he was there speaking. And so I was at the event. He was coming. I didn't see him. April saw him and said, "Here come your boy." And I turned and saw Bill Cosby walking through, and he was being led, and he was moving, making a beeline because, people were going to get his attention. And he got close enough to me to stop him, right? And I was like, "Excuse me, Dr. Cosby." And that was just enough to get his attention. And I said, on the album, To My Brother Russell, Whom I Slept With, I said, the moment at which you're behind the door and tell your brother, "I think I hear Dad coming," I said, it's probably one of the most amazing moments in stand-up. And it was such a specific thing. It was such a nuance. I know nobody has ever told him that it made him stop and actually really look at me and say thank you. So that was the first encounter I had with him. Right? And so then years later, I was producing this comedy special for Centric and BET and the Centric Comedy All-Stars. And Robert Townsend was a person that we were honoring. And now this was my show. I was creator of the show, executive producer. We were honoring Robert Townsend. And I knew that Robert had a relationship with Dr. Cosby. And I went through my contacts and managed to get Bill Cosby to do this interview with me for the purpose of the opening package to the show. And actually met with him at his brother-in-law's art studio here in California, sat down, just the two of us, for a one-on-one conversation that was supposed to be like a 10, 15-minute conversation, turned to an hour-long conversation, just me and Bill Cosby, one-on-one. Nobody else there, maybe two other people, camera person, blah, blah, blah. But it was just one of these things. It's like, as a stand-up comic, a young man who watched this man and had such an influence, to be in the room with him one-on-one and have this long, engaging conversation, it was like, as a comic, you just can't even fathom. I'll post the photo after we get off this live. So I'm saying all of that to say it turns my stomach to have the very person that had such an influence on me turn out to be such a sexual predator. To be the sexual predator that he is. It's disgusting. At his level of celebrity, I'm sure there's more than enough women that would flip over backwards 10 times to do anything that he desired sexually. To do anything, right? But no, he's going to use his celebrity, his fame, and his money to put women in a situation where they're not even present mentally, like psychologically, just needs to use their body and then discard them. And then the bigger piece to the puzzle is to dismiss these women as liars when they call him out on the abuse that was handed to them. So, yeah, I'm completely disgusted with him. I'm off that train completely. I have nothing. I don't even know how you. And so, to your point, though, I think it's Devin, right? I think it's Devin. Devin Simone. Simone, Devin, Simone. To your point, can we separate the artist and the man from his work? It's like the Kanye of it all. We had that conversation. Can you separate Kanye's work from how he's acting out now and the influence he's having? Should we have to? There was something else that I wanted to say about the Bill Cosby of it all. Oh, it was this whole this bit of what is the word? Indignant righteousness that he had. That may be the wrong combination of words, but his attitude towards young black men in the community and young rappers and you know, their level of irresponsibility and, you know, this whole, remember that tour he went on going speaking around in these cities where he was shaming rappers and young and not speaking down to New York. You're a monster. You're out here being a monster behind closed doors and publicly, you know, shaming black men and yes, telling them to pull up their pants and all of these things. So you're telling them to pull up their pants while you're busy pulling down the pants of young black women and other women, right, to rape them. Now, can you even imagine, like, just think about that. You're busy with this campaign telling black men to pull up their pants while you're busy pulling down your pants and lifting up these women's skirts to rape them. Tanya Ingram, I want to remember his previous greatness and not this current situation. Well, here's the thing. We can't get out of the reality of what we live in right now. We can't, you know. Okay, Joe Leonard, did Camille know? Did she? Right? Did she? Did she turn a blind eye? Fame and money and all of these things, they'll make people turn a blind eye. What does Melania Trump know? Right? And let's not play this game of, oh, well, what about, you know, Donald Trump and Harvey Weinstein and start to point to people who don't look like Bill Cosby in order to try to make some rationalization about how unequivocal the justice system is when it hands out or when it makes a pursuit of. Yeah, I say, yes, of course she knew. The wife always knows. Which makes it even a greater injustice on her part, because now it's a wife, another woman, turning a blind eye to the abuse of her fellow, like, to other females. Okay. You just can't rationalize it. Please hit the share button. Everybody hit the share button. Please hit the share button. And only way, Facebook is doing a mean number on these platforms now. They really have the kind of faucet to reach people used to be this wide open. And now what they've done is they've closed it all the way down. So it makes it really hard for us to reach more folks organically. But Weinstein went to rehab, so why can't Cosby? So again, here we are. First of all, his sentencing has not even taken place yet. They've not handed out a sentence. So you don't even know what they're recommending for him. We have not heard what they've not said he's specifically going to jail. So we can't make let's not do that. Hefner said before he died, these women wanted money and it's a money grab. So who said that? So Devin, you're saying that these women were not sexually abused? When you say something like Hugh Hefner said, a man who's now dead and can't, right? Are you suggesting that these women are lying? Are you suggesting that these women were not sexually assaulted? Are you suggesting that these women weren't drugged and raped? When you say Hugh Hefner said that that this is a money grab, are you now discounting the allegations, the charges, the experience that these women, and again, not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, right? Yeah, that's a little concerning to me. Okay. I know you all I believe this goes both ways. The women put themselves in harm's way because they wanted something from Cosby, and you have to pay for what you want, and puts them in. It's a very, very complicated situation in that regard, because yes, when you're in, you put yourself in a situation where, yes, I'm sure some of these women were chasing fame, they were chasing celebrity, but that does not give a man a right to take advantage of. That does not. So let's take single Royale, right? Let's take a hypothetical. Let's take single Royale. Let's put me, and I've been in situations where I could have taken advantage of women based on whatever their state was, right? I've been in hotel rooms with drunk women who, like on that Def Comedy Jam tour, which is where I kind of cut my teeth. I've seen more situations that could have gone a bad way than I care to even share, right? I've had drunk women in my room, just babysitting them, and could have taken advantage of them sexually. It's not who I am. So it really cuts to who you are, right? So yes, women will put themselves in situations that don't make sense. But at the end of the day, a man has to be, or anybody has to be, I believe, has a moral obligation to do the right thing in these situations. Right? Like, doesn't it kind of speak to who you are as a man? Like, my sons, Royce, Ross, and Joey, you could put them in a situation right now with a young girl or female, whatever the case is. And I would think that I've had enough influence on them as their father, and I've had enough conversations with them. And I would like to think that a part of their DNA being my children, there's enough there that they would know that this is not what you do, right? And so I think it speaks to how men value women in society. It doesn't make a difference how long they waited, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, this is gonna become a whole. I don't want to make this the entire conversation, because I gotta review this coffee and I gotta bring Deanna on. I'm sure she's probably been patiently waiting, but I'm a survivor. I didn't wait 30 years to cry foul. That's what bothers me. Okay. To any women on this thread who've had to suffer, to endure, and manage your way through any sexual abuse, rape, or any of that stuff, first and foremost, I'm just going to say I'm going to apologize on behalf of anybody that's abused you. I think it's unfair. I think it's disgusting. But one thing I think we cannot do is put ourselves in the shoes of another victim to try to make sense of why they waited, why they didn't wait, what their journey is, their path towards being able to reveal. Different people manage these things and deal with these things because at the end of the day, it's a form of trauma. It's a form of sexual trauma. It's a form of psychological trauma. It's abusive. And so how people manage abuse, right, it's different for different people. So we can't say, oh, well, because my experience was this way, now this person's experience should match that. That's unfair. So especially when we're dealing with so many factors, the factor of celebrity, the factor of shaming, the factor of, there's just so many factors at play that make these things way more challenging and difficult than most of us care to even try to figure out. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Purposeful Delight Coffee is the brand that I'm reviewing today. The young lady, Deanna Brookert, Deanna, are you here? Are you on the thread? Where are you? Let me find you and bring you in. Not to bring such an abrupt, not to be rude, certainly. But I got to transition because now we're 40 minutes into our conversation. Women feel better in numbers. Abuse is a lifetime. Yes, it's a lifetime scar. Okay, so what I want to do, there's Deanna. I'm going to bring her on the conversation. Deanna has an incredible journey to share with you all. I'm going to try to get to that. And then after that, I'll share my thoughts about her coffee. Daughters and a son, 2 are deceased, and that's 5 daughters. Ooh. Yeah. Let me bring Deanna on so we can talk about coffee, because I got to stay consistent to how I'm building the show out. Somebody suggested that we make Tuesdays Talent Tuesdays, so that if somebody wants to sing, if you want to do poetry, if you have something that makes sense on the platform, all of the talent stuff gets pushed to Tuesdays instead of Thursdays. So I'm kind of open to that. I want to make it Talent Tuesdays, so we'll figure that out. And if you have a business that you want to share, I don't know why more of you have not inboxed me to say, Royale, I have a business. I would like to come on your platform and share my business with the rest of the family. You all should absolutely take advantage of that, and just make sure it's a legit business. If you have a URL, I should be able to point people literally to a URL that they can click and support your business. If you sell candles, if you sell sex toys, if you sell T-shirts, if you sell coffee mugs, if you have, if you're a CPA and you have a business, whatever it is, I'm gonna pick a day. I said I was going to do it on Sundays, but again, I'm literally trying to dial this thing all the way in so that we have something consistent that we can come to. So here's Deanna. Let's bring her into the conversation. Let's do that right now. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Now, is it Deanna? Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, Deanna Bookert.
Bookert. Where did I get the R from?
I don't know.
Oh, I need. You know what? Hold on. Let me get to professional.
Put your glasses on.
Put my glasses on. Good Lord, these eyeballs is not doing what they're supposed to do. So, good morning, Deanna. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful.
Well, I'm super excited, first and foremost, to have you on the show this morning. I want to do a couple of things. Like, let me take another sip of your coffee.
Yes.
So we got to do a couple of things, because the coffee is one piece of the conversation, but the story that you sent me is a whole other piece of the conversation. And so that's why I was like, thank you for being patient again. So I'm just trying to figure out, let's start with your story first, because then we can get to, I think it's important for everybody to understand what inspired the coffee.
Absolutely. So, and it's a lot, so I'm going to sum it up so I don't take up too much time, but to really get focused in, I dealt with depression, and I was about 25, and at that point, I had been married for about 5 years. And what I realized is that I dealt with it in silence. So I know we were just talking about women that are abused and go through different things and they wait so long to come out. Sometimes fear will keep us silent more than longer than what we should. And at the time, I was very successful in corporate America, and I didn't know how to tell people that I was having suicidal thoughts. I didn't know how to tell people that, I'm the mother of 2 kids and a wife, and I have a very good lifestyle financially, but I was miserable. And so I dealt with it in silence. And so over the years, I was able to tackle that and overcome that and know how to deal with my anxieties and deal with overcoming depression. And, I've met so many women and men who to this day deal with depression, and it's real. And we have the stigma of going to a therapist or a counselor. I went and I've sat on many couches, so I don't have no shame in telling that, because of the state of mind that I was in. And so over time, I dealt with that, overcame that, and mainly because I didn't know who I was. I didn't have an identity. I lost my identity in being a mom and being a good wife. And I always ask people, they say, well, how did you realize that that was the problem? I saw an episode where 50 Cent was being interviewed by Oprah, and she asked him, she said, who are you? And that question forever sat with me. Like, I asked myself, I was like, who am I? I couldn't answer it. I didn't know who I was. I was, we say we're a good wife, we're a good mom. Well, if you have children, you're supposed to be a good mom. If you're married, you're supposed to be a good wife or husband. I had no identity. And that was where I realized the depression came in. I realized I didn't feel like I had purpose. And I went on a quest, prayer and fasting, of defining and understanding what my purpose was. Why was I created? What am I supposed to be doing? What will give me that fulfillment, that happiness, that joy that so many people talk about? And even me being a minister in the gospel, talking about joy and happiness, and I'm having suicidal thoughts when I go home. So it was very real for me, and I had to tackle that. And so once I was able to define what my purpose was, it just opened up my mind to this world of possibilities. And so I tagged on to that. I am purpose. I started an empowerment conference that I would do every year, encouraging people to identify your purpose. What's your purpose? What are you supposed to be doing? That's where you're going to have fulfillment, knowing your purpose. And that's not easy. And it didn't happen overnight, but it was work. Like, I had to really dig down. What am I supposed to be doing? And so that's where if anybody follow me, where I say I am purpose or purposeful delight, it came from. I really wanted people to really grab hold to the concept of understanding we all have purpose. We just have to tap into what it is and identify it. And so a number of things came from that. I have a national holiday, which you see up there, National Wear Your Pearls Day. And it's a day that I want women and men to wear pearls. I've gotten pictures of men wearing this cummerbund, so they're wearing a shirt. You see all of my pearls on my shirt now. To wear pearls, but it is a positive movement to encourage conversation. Talk about it. We deal with depression. It's no longer dealing with it in silence. Anxiety, no longer dealing with it in silence. Share, and to take away for those that maybe don't deal with it, to not judge those that do. So it is truly a day of encouragement, empowerment, inspiration. And if anybody knows the journey of a pearl, it's created from dirt. It's when dirt enters a clam or oyster, and it goes through a vigorous process, and a pearl is created. And that's my story. I had a rough start, a fatherless daughter. I dealt with depression. I did a lot of things in my young youth that I regret, but it made me. And just like a pearl, that dirt became something powerful and something of value, but I had to go through a process. So that's where National Wear Your Pearls Day came from. That's where I Am Purpose movement came from, and Purposeful Delight. I love coffee. I am a coffee connoisseur. I can drink coffee all day long. And so I thought, what better way to tie them together and have my own gourmet coffee? And it's all around the whole concept of have a cup of coffee and have a conversation. We need to talk more. So Purposeful Delight is the gourmet coffee. National Wear Your Pearls Day, I saw someone ask the question, is on December the 15th, which is my birthday, December 15th.
Sagittarius, hello.
Sagittarius. I saw that. So yes, my birthday. And in the midst of all of that I just said, dealing with depression, having 2 kids and being a wife, in 2015, I got the call that no spouse or anyone want to get, and it was come to the hospital. There's been an accident. My husband, driving into work, had a massive heart attack, and he had what is called a noxic brain injury, which means he pretty much died. They brought him back, but because of lack of oxygen to the brain for a length of time, he had a noxic brain injury. So for 10 months, he was in a vegetative state coma, I stopped everything to take care of my husband. I stopped everything and was by his bedside until the day that he passed. But it was a blessing because we had the gift of being able to love on him for 10 months. I think that God allowed me to go through everything that I did prior to prepare me to handle that. So I always use the phrase of my smile has a story because people say a lot of people didn't even know that I was going through all of this. They were like, "You're still smiling and working." I just have so much to be grateful for. So we never know what people are going through in secret. And some people can smile through it all, but we all have a story. So I am purpose, and that's the story behind Purposeful Delight.
Holy moly, good Lord. Woman, you about to kill me. Let me put my glasses on in case we got that. I might need my wiper blades for my eyeballs with this one. Let me tell you something. Nothing inspires me more than to hear the story of a human being that can rise above the tragedy, above all of the challenges, and not for the sake of others, but for the sake of yourself. Like you have to give yourself the ability to continue to live in spite of, right? In spite of all of these things, I mean, shit, to not have your dad in your life, right? To go through the challenges of, look, the thing that really stands out to me is the question of who am I, right? Yes, I'm married. Yes, I'm, so and so's mom, but we become these things and it speaks to the question I always have about why are you getting married? Like, why are you getting married? What is your purpose for getting married? Are you trying, or do you have a desire to escape who you are to get into something that you hope will be better? Are you masking who you are with this relationship and this family because you need to have these other things that you can be a part of because you don't know who you are or you don't want to live the journey that you are? You know what I mean? Are you not comfortable? So when you ask the question, like, who am I? Right? I think people have to give themselves permission to sit still long enough to be able to embrace and to go back into, like, what is my purpose? Why I always say this, like, you're one of one, right? What does that mean to be one of one first before you're anything else? And so, again, when you talk about losing your husband, we get into these marriages and these relationships, and we know, look, life isn't forever, but we certainly don't expect to lose a loved one, right? We have this idea in our head that, oh, we're going to grow old together, and then maybe when we get 80, 90, 102, if we're lucky, well, one of us will pass, and then we start talking about, well, who's going to go first, this, that, and the other. But to lose a loved one, a husband early, and to have to come back to, for the universe to force you back to, well, I'm no longer this person's wife, like in the physical space. So now this person is no longer in my life physically every day. So now it's like, who, again, coming back to who am I? What is my purpose? What is that thing that's going to get me up every day? Because I'm sure it's not easy to get out of the bed, right? And to continue. But that's the thing that drives us, is like knowing who we are and what our purpose is, aside from those things.
Absolutely. And you make a good point because I've done like personal development coaching and work with different women, which is another thing that was birthed out of this. So when I say who am I and what's my purpose, one thing that God revealed to me was that I'm a midwife. So I am gifted, equipped to help birth babies. So I'm a motivator, I'm an encourager, and I do that through sharing my story. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's what keeps me going. Because there's women that I've met with that are in their 70s and 80 and still trying to understand what their purpose is. Why? Because they've lived for their husbands, they live for their children. Their children are older and don't need them. Their husbands are deceased, and now they're sitting back like, what now? So we need to know what our purpose are. We all have a purpose. And, we always say, when God created me, he broke the mold. Well, that's true. Then that means that there's a seed of purpose in all of us that is needed in the earth. So how dare we hold the seed and don't put it into the earth, which is what God originally intended for us to do. So what good
Come
is
on.
seed? What good is seed if we keep it in our pocket? It's supposed to go into the ground, so we're supposed to sow it back into the earth. So the need is greater than me. That's another phrase that I use. The need is greater than me. So yes, I get tired. Yes, there are days that I want to stay home, but I go into the schools and I sit on the floor and read books to first graders. Why? Because I end up leaving and they say, "Can you be my mom?" Well, they have parents. Yeah, I have like 72 kids. I only birthed two, but I got like
Woo!
72. So, but that's purpose. I find so much fulfillment in that because my kids are older. I have an 18-year-old that's about to leave for the Air Force. So now God has given me the ability to go into the schools and love on these babies because maybe their mom worked 2 jobs and can't sit at home and read a book to them. So they appreciate that. So we all have purpose, but what good is our seed of purpose if we're holding it to ourselves because we thinking about, oh, woe is me and all of this that we have going on. We all have, life happens, but we all have purpose and it's needed in
Life
the earth.
happens. Listen, you
It
about to
happens.
say that life happens. And that
Right.
becomes, look, so life happens, right? We're born into these circumstances that we don't get to choose. And
Right.
and so we have to figure out, like it's really on a daily basis, we have to figure out how we're going to manage our way through this maze of challenges and circumstances and other things. And again, like try to carve out some piece of happiness. But to your point, I promise you, it really starts with who am I? Is my
Mm-hmm.
purpose? And what am I going to do on a daily basis to continue to manage my way through everything else? Because at the center of that purpose, and it shines. I'm so excited. Look, I don't know why the Coffee Cup Chronicles started,
Mm-hmm.
but just having you right now in this conversation just makes me believe that nothing, like everything happens for a reason. There is a purpose. So this is, literally purposefully delightful. Like
Absolutely.
just in the cup, everything just seems to just make sense. And the information that you're sharing is not only powerful, Deanna, but it's necessary. So many women. Um, do you have a book out?
I do, and I'm working on my third, but yes.
The depression is so real, right?
Right.
I know what that's like. We talk about, April and I talked about losing a house and losing a whole lot of money. And
Mm-hmm.
for me, mentally being in a space where you just feel like you've lost it all, right? And this is why I'm so clear about money and money just being a resource. It's not the end all be all. Like we have many forms of different resources,
Right.
but nobody wants to admit or share the space that they're in because one, you don't think people understand, you don't think anybody will listen.
Right.
It's something that we suffer in silence with,
Right.
and then the stigmatism of therapy is something that we, especially in our community, live under this gray cloud of what does it mean to go to, and you know what I mean. Meanwhile,
Right.
everybody else is paying money and doing whatever they need to go get right. It's just going to talk to somebody who's going to help you better understand the process. You know what I mean? But we
Yes.
have such a stigma with, what does it mean to go get help or to have somebody? No, stop. Go get the help that you need
Mm-hmm. Right.
so that you can be a more healthier, whole human being so that you can get back to the journey towards your happiness, which is at the center of your purpose. At the center of your
Absolutely.
purpose, just convinced is happiness.
Absolutely. And when I was going through everything with my husband, like I said, it was 10 months. There, and I don't know how many of you know this, but in the story of the book of Job in the Bible, where Job lost everything and was sick and death, all this was around him. The key thing in the beginning was God allowed it. God gave Satan the right to go and infiltrate and to take everything, but he said, just don't kill him. And so every day I woke up and I'm like, God, if you allowed all of this to happen, give me the strength to overcome it and to not to disappoint you. And so we have to believe that God gives us, only what we can bear. So he's equipped us to deal with whatever it is that come. And it's unfortunate that some people don't get to see the other side of me being able to sit here and talk about, yes, I dealt with depression and had suicidal thoughts. There's so many people, so many lives that are lost because it's such a dark place. And I'm such an advocate of talk, talk, go to counseling, to a friend. And if you're not the one dealing with it, don't sit in a place of judgment. And that's why so many people don't talk about it, because they feel like they're going to be judged.
Powerful. Not sitting in a space of judgment, because you're absolutely right. People are quick to judge, right, when they don't understand or they haven't gone through the experience. But I'll say this also. Having gone through that experience myself personally, I have this thing with, being grateful for being grated. I just like cheese. When you break cheese down, if you take a grater and you break it all the way down, you can take that cheese and put it back together. So for me personally, I went through a process of, I believe the universe, God, graded me down to all of these other pieces, only for me to put myself back together and have a new understanding of who I am, because I know where all of the pieces are and go now. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be graded, because now I am greater.
Right. Yeah. And you have another level of appreciation for everything and every door that's going to open for you going forward, because you know what it's like to have to lose and to be without. So that's my biggest thing. Like when everything happened and my husband was in the hospital, we owned a barbershop, so he was a barber. So him being not able to go to work, we didn't still have money coming in. And me being an entrepreneur, you're talking about two incomes and coming into the household, and now it's only down to one, and then it's only a small percentage because I was by his bedside. So when I say we lost everything, it was nothing but by the love and grace from other people that really just helped us. So people see me now, and I have people all the time like, oh, I want to be like Deanna. No, you don't want to be like Deanna. You don't want what Deanna had to go through to get here. To lose everything and contemplating suicide and having people that you thought you could rely on not be there, and then people that you didn't think that would be there for you. So we can never stand in a place where we're envying somebody, because we never know what they had to go through to smile. We never know what they had to go through to get to where they are. So we have to appreciate our process, go through our process, but make sure that we learn, we grow, and that we take that and we go and help somebody else.
Listen, everybody's journey is different, and everybody's success. You cannot look at somebody else's success and say, I want that success. Look, it's like I can't, if Steve Harvey or Kevin, I can't fit in this Kevin Hart suit, right? His suit was not made for me. Right. Even if I go buy a suit off the rack, I may be able to get in it, but it won't be tailor-made for me. What we need to do is embrace our own version of success based on our journey. Know that the struggles that we go through are purposefully our struggles, because again, it's tailor-made for us to push past. And look, on the other side of the breakdown is the breakthrough. You can't tell me anything different. On the other side of the breakdown is the breakthrough. So I'm so grateful to have you on the show today. I want to talk about the coffee, because I cheated, and I said this a little bit, because the coffee was here and I smelled it, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, as soon as I smelled it, it's like, I cracked the bag open, I made some of it, I had it, I was like, this is amazing. So I'm curious to know how you got, like, are you blending the coffee? I don't know anybody that has their own blend of coffee, so tell me about that.
Absolutely. So there's a company. So I am what is called a private label owner. There's a company that goes to Jamaica, and there's if anybody know anything about coffee, it's called Blue Mountain.
Blue Mountain,
yes. But there's only one roster who has the access to get to those beans, and that's where the beans come from. So now I don't know the formula. It's like top secret. Even I don't know. But the company it puts the formula together, the roasting process, and I am a private label. So I went to this company and pretty much told them my idea, my concept, and what I wanted to do, and the reason behind it. I love the Jamaica rum flavor, but I definitely love French vanilla. So I wanted those two combined together. And I love this coffee. I tell everybody I was kind of like, how they say the drug dealer don't try your own product. Like as soon as as soon as the shipment would come in, I was like, yeah. So I had to like pull back, like I was using up all my products. So I love the smell of it. It is definitely a gourmet coffee. There's a process that makes it gourmet. That the cleaning of the beans that makes it organic as well.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it is a great, rich flavor. I love it.
Well, here's the thing. For me, again, y'all, I drink a lot of coffee, right? I know good coffee. I know bad coffee. I know great coffee. This is it tastes like candy. The only thing it tastes like, if coffee was candy, this, especially this Jamaica rum French vanilla blend, it tastes very much like a seasonal, Christmassy kind of, blend, but it's delicious. I'll say it's delicious. When I first had it, I was like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to talk about this blend." I'm good. It's hands down. It's a 5 cups review on your coffee. Please, like, post the. I'm gonna take the link and put it in this. How much does this? Okay, so this is an 8-ounce bag. How much
Yes.
does the 8-ounce bag go for?
It's $12 online,
Yep.
and you can get it if you want the beans and want it to do the grinding yourself, but it's $12.
Okay. So
Yeah.
please, like, okay, so Nisi says she's about to order some now.
Mhm.
So please,
Thank you.
absolutely make sure y'all support Deanna. It's Deanna's Brew. The coffee's Purposeful Delight. I'm gonna put the link up. And more importantly, like, I'm gonna share your information because the coffee is great, but I think we need the book and the coffee to go as one package so that people can read the book and enjoy the coffee because like, it's for me, there's a lot of people who go through these challenges in life, and what we don't get on the other side of the challenge is the story and the glory and the testimony, which is where the real nutrients and the vitamins and minerals are for everybody else to be able to get enriched. You know what I mean? To know that, like, oh, okay, I've gone through something too. So you telling me that I can continue to push past, being raped or losing a house or, a husband that walked away from me and my kids. And that doesn't have to be the final chapter in my life or the end of the road for me. It's like I can continue to pick up, dust myself off, and not only just live, but find like a new chapter that's going to help me. Like, it's got to be your biggest life right now. And that's what stands out to me, Deanna, is that you are a shining example of somebody who's living her biggest life right now. I'm proud of you. I'm appreciative that you take the time to jump on the platform with me. And like, I'm celebrating your coffee because I could just taste all of everything that you represent is in this goddamn coffee.
It's awesome. And that's what it's all about. Like, you're drinking a cup of coffee. I have mine here as well. And we're having a conversation. And that's what Purposeful Delight is all about. Like, get some girlfriends together. I go and I do closed door sessions with women all the time. I go in, I do speaking engagements, and I share my story and share it over coffee. And, I share, and this is the thing though, a lot of times speakers share and all that. I'm very transparent. I hold nothing back. So I share, I know what it's like to not know who my father is and then later learn who he is, but then deal with rejection. And what does rejection look like for a young teenage girl? What does rejection look like for a young adult? Many young girls deal with this now, and a lot of times we don't quite know how to pin what it is. But I
Yeah.
dealt with rejection. I'm very transparent about that. So that's what this Purposeful Delight is all about. Let's have those conversations and let's get healed.
Okay. So let's do this because, I guess so. Y'all know me. I'm a freaking, I could be a mess on camera because I just get so moved by people's stories, and I know the success that it's going to help other people reach. because everybody's going to be inspired. And in that inspiration, like, again, we got to be difference maker, and you're a difference maker. That's what it is. It's like, sometimes it takes me a second to remember. I got to go through my log. It's like, oh, it's back there somewhere. If you are nothing else, or in addition to everything that you are, not if you're nothing else, in addition to everything that you are, Deanna, you are a difference maker. You are a difference maker, sister. And again, thank you for coming on the program. I'm gonna inbox you real quick, because what I want to do is, when I do these Coffee Cup Chronicles live, I want to find a way to be in business with you so that I can bring your coffee out and have people enjoy your coffee. So I'll reach out to you as soon as I get to my office, and you and I'll kind of connect and try to figure out how we can make that happen. What's the website again? Let's share the website information. Let's share any social media information that you have, so that they can follow you and enjoy your coffee and your products.
Absolutely. If you go to Bookert, Bookert agency on Facebook, all of my social sites are there. Definitely, you can follow my page, Deanna Booker. Deanna Speaks is another page. But I will definitely post a link. I post that there for the coffee. But if you go to Booker Agency, all of my social sites, links, website, everything is there. Even I put my itinerary if I'm traveling and speaking in different places. All of that is on that page.
Okay, so what I'll do is, I'm going to come back and I'm going to add the link for her Facebook page into the post. So after this is over, it will all be there. You just make sure you go to her page. There's 144 people on the page on our Facebook Live right now. Her, now 146. You should have, by the end of the day, a minimum of 100 new people on your page. And the most important thing you all can do, like, I think we're bringing you all some really valuable engagement, some important conversations. And if you do nothing else, you all should continue to share and tell people about what we're doing with the Coffee Cup Chronicles, because we're going to continue to grow, but I can't do it by myself, right? I need you all to share the page, tell people about it, because what her story is important, right? Just by sharing the page, you're going to allow somebody else to hear this story, and it's going to make a difference in their life. So, Deanna, thanks for being on the show. I'm going to have you back again at some point, but I'm going to inbox you as soon as I get off, so that you and I can have a conversation offline, so that we and I can talk about, again, doing some other stuff, and me trying to figure out a way to bring your coffee out when I do these Coffee Cup Chronicles live.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having me. I've been following you guys for some time, although I definitely love April a little bit more, but I'm not going to,
Don't say that!
I was really hoping April was going to be here, so, not that I don't appreciate talking to you.
You know what? I got to give April credit. April's so sweet. She worked to God knows what time last night, and, I was in my office working, and as much as I have so much to do, I got taxes to do, I got these treatments and stuff I'm working on, but I realized she was texting me and was talking about, oh my God, they got us working this, and now she has to work on Saturday. And so I know she wasn't feeling good. She wanted the weekend off. And so I said, you know what? Let me just go home. Instead of working late, let me go home and just be there for my wife when she gets home, so that, you know what I mean? She has the comfort of. And so she was upstairs, and she left. I don't know if y'all heard her. It was a little piece of her that walked by. She was aware enough to go, oh, this is a real conversation. Let me not go and interrupt this conversation, and left out. So I'm probably going to go take her some flowers or something today. So.
Oh, good. Go take care.
I love her too, so I don't mind. I don't mind y'all loving April more. I just know that's what it is. So y'all feel free to love her more. It doesn't hurt me at all. It actually means a lot to me that you all have embraced her in the way that you have. So.
Yes, she's awesome.
All right, so I'm going to inbox you, but thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
And y'all make sure I'm going to post the link. Y'all make sure y'all support Deanna Booker. And so, again, I'll hit you in a second. But thanks again for being on the show, Deanna.
Thank you again.
Have a great day.
You too.
Man, I mean, just well, let me get this out here. I got a little bit some moisture, my eyeballs perspiring. Ladies and gentlemen, another incredible Coffee Cup Chronicles. Again, you just never know where this thing is going to go. So, Deanna, thank you again for being on the show. Thank you for your letter. She was such an amazing. She sent me this with the coffee, and that's why I was super excited about bringing her on the show. She obviously represents herself well. Her voice is important. What she has to say matters, and we're going to continue to grow the platform. I just encourage each and every one of you to share it and tell your friends about Coffee Cup Chronicles Live and After I Do. Let's see, is there any other business? It would mean a lot to me if you all would continue to support the platform by purchasing a t-shirt, or, if you want to make a donation, you can go to my Cash App, because I got getting low on creamer, and I gotta again start to build this website. But make sure you order coffee too. She was gracious enough with her time that if you do nothing else, please buy a bag of coffee, please. If you just buy a bag of coffee, so that way, she knows that that's the After I Do hoodies, t-shirt, hoodie, bag of coffee. Hit the share button, and make sure you go to afteridotv.com and make sure you sign up for the email list. I love each and every one of y'all. I'm going to, for myself, take a deep breath. And just enjoy all of that goodness that just happened. Y'all be blessed. Today is Friday. Holy moly. So, yeah, I don't know, April, if she gets off. I don't know. So Sunday may have to be the day. But we'll see. I'm super excited because now it's going to make me go back now and really, really start to dial in. Oh, you got your shirt and hoodie yesterday. Holy moly. Good. Make a donation. The platform, all of it, I give this to you all, but if you all can continue to make a donation, then it helps me focus on the bigger vision and build it out that much faster. So I'm telling y'all right now, everybody that's rocking with me now is in on the ground floor. I need y'all to help support me. And the hoodies don't zip up. It's a pullover. But trust me, if you buy a hoodie, you are going to love it. Last sip, ladies and gentlemen. Last sip. I was savoring this one. This conversation was so damn good to me. Purposeful Delight. Deanna's Brew. I love y'all. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.